The reason we pay so close attention to breathing, and let me try to do this so it's not so much so big at once. Okay, when you find the person that can explain God to God, he has to go back to the beginning to remember how the beginning started. Then he's got to go back to the now and go backwards as he's going forwards with from the beginning forwards to make them meet and find out how it all ties together so that we can actually use all that knowledge for ourselves. Like the things that tied together in my life, Dan Alexander, the things that tied together in my life aren't going to be the same things that tie together in your life at all. They're going to be different things, different signs. And you see how mine was SP and SP and SP and all that kind of stuff. Like those were my symbols. That doesn't mean that you're going to have any symbols or any number combinations. Your symbols could be something totally different. Like I used to see this one guy all the time, and I remember telling my mom and dad, like, I see this one guy, and I don't know where from, but I see him all the time, and he just never come over and say anything to me. But I figure now, if I ever see him again, I'll walk over and talk to him. But I bet I'll never see him again because I think that was like my guardian angel, or somebody who the God in them just has this weird vibrational urge to tell me something, but doesn't. You ever just get these urges around people like they're going to have some meaning in your life? Well, they really do. They really, really do. And I can explain what that whole thing means now. But I mean, everyone has some kind of meaning in your life, so you should try to value every relationship you have. But no negative thing about it. But when you get a bad feeling about someone right when you first meet them, then your paths weren't supposed to cross in that polarity sense. At least not yet. Your paths could not be meant to cross today, but something could change over the course of even a few minutes. That could be like later on today, you'd be able to talk. But if you talked right now, he's in a bad mood, you're in a bad mood, she's in a bad mood, she's in a bad mood, something. You talk then, and your polarities would be off, and you would totally ruin the first impression. Tell me you haven't had a day when you're in a bad mood. Okay, if you're in a bad mood and you walk around in your life in a bad mood, all the first impressions you make with the people on that day is a bad first impression. If you're in a good mood and you go around and all the people you meet for the first time on that first day, in a good mood, you just gave them a good impression. Now think about that. I'm going to try to put all these things into terminology so that everyone can understand them. In order to understand where we came from, the reason we go back to breathing is because when there was no vision and when there was no sight, and all there was rock, dirt, fire, elements, things that couldn't either see, couldn't hear, couldn't taste, couldn't touch. Well, we developed those things. I developed those things in each different version of myself so that I could find who I am. So when all I could do was think. I mean, that's what we call it, think. At first, all I could do was think. And then all of a sudden, I thought so hard and it turned into belief. What we call belief, because back then it wasn't that. It was just a vibration of source. I mean, we just call vibration a vibration. So this is really confusing. But I'm going to use the words we have. So we use that vibration to think. Then that think caused more different vibrations to make more things happen. And at first, when there was no one there to not believe it could happen, wow, that's a miracle. There's no way the sun could pop out of the air. Well, yeah, it can, because the thing that thought it could. And the person that had seen the 14 billion or the big boom, Big Bang Theory had the same thing happen that I had. They saw it, and all of a sudden it went boom in their mind, and then I don't know where they picked 14 billion years, but I mean, I could see that too. I could see it taking 14 billion. I could see it taking 14 billion years in one day, but I don't want to count that out. Because, if you wanted to be stuck in a reality where you're counting to a billion, you can be stuck in a reality where you're counting to a billion if you believe that you're stuck in a reality counting to a billion. That's how crazy it is. If somebody believes that they're the son of a drug addict and they'll never be able to help their parent, then they're going to be the son of a drug addict and never be able to help their parent. But if they believe their parent has a drug problem that they can help them with, guess what? Their parent has a drug problem that they can help them with. If they believe that their brother is a jerk that's never going to change, then their brother's a jerk that's never going to change. But if you ask their brother, I bet you a year from now he's going to say he's changed a lot since last year. Now put those things together and start realizing that it's what you think. And it starts with the simple stuff that seems so ridiculous. But that's where it starts. And you got to start somewhere if you really want to try. I love you guys. Have a great day.